Hey YouTube land, this is Tycanders doing another action figure review, and this time it's for Slash, and Leatherhead. So basically I wanted to get one of the toon sets, and I wanted Slash for ages, because since they announced him, he's always been one of my favorite kind of bad guy characters. And even though I've never really played a Turtles in Time game, I really liked the design for the Turtles in Time version of Slash, which is more akin to his vintage action figure. And then there's the toon version of him, which I still liked, even though he was kind of goofy in the very first iteration of him. And then when he came back, he was far more intelligent. And then, as an added bonus, Leatherhead, that Louisiana Gator, or however the hell you pronounce his accent. And it's like all I remember from him is him always going by Gumbo after nearly every sentence he said. But before I get into the figures, I'll go on to the packaging. So I'll start with Turtles in Time Slash. I just move them slightly aside. Here is the box it comes in. It has the Turtles in Time logo at the bottom, the name of the character. I'm assuming these are graphics from the video game for the side of the arcade machine or whatever, or however it was done. As I said, I've never played Turtles in Time, so I've never been familiar with it. But on the side, you get a look at the turtles again, and you can see how massive the heads are on the side of the box art. Thankfully, the figures aren't that big with their heads, from what I can see. Same on the opposite side. And then if I flip around to the back of the box, other characters in the line. So there's Leo, Don, Foot, Soldier, and then there's Slash. Leo, Don, and the Foot all come with like a hoverboard thing, whereas Slash doesn't. And as far as I know, Don and Leo are a reuse or a repaint of the original video game Turtles releases, which are also the Toon Turtles repainted in the video game colors. And the Foot Soldier is a repaint of the San Diego Comic-Con set that had the Foot Soldiers with Shredder. So essentially, kind of only new figure in this wave is Slash himself. And then getting onto the box for the other Slash, I just move him off to the side and take Leatherhead out of the way. Leatherhead is quite a big beefy figure, which I will get into in a minute. So they come in the standard Toon Turtles or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles packaging. So you have an artwork for Slash on one side, on the left hand side, and then Leatherhead's on the right hand side. Underneath you have just the normal kind of legalese stuff. On the top of the box, after knocking over Leatherhead with the box, you get the Turtles logo again. On the side, you have an image of Slash for his side, and flipping around to the other side, you have an image of Leatherhead for his side of the box. So the images correspond to each side of the box. The background is a sewer style background. In the box, you can't really see it. I don't really want to open it up and take it out, because it will create a mess, and I don't have that big a space to review. And then flipping around the back of the box, you have an image. If I just pull the camera up a bit, an image of both of them. You have a blurb about the turtles and how they were mutated, basically 4 ordinary household pets transformed into a band of wisecracking, pizza-loving, villain dicing adolescent reptiles. So, you know, Leonardo, the super cool sword-wielding leader, Raphael, the jokester, hurling manholes and one-liners in rapid succession, Donatello, the brain and behind the brawn, and Michelangelo, the ice cream pizza gobbling party animal. Whether it's facing fierce enemies or saving humanity from near extinction with the guidance of their sensei, these heroes in a half shell are always ready for straight out of the sewer action. And then you have other figures that are available, which is the Bebop and Rocksteady 2-pack, which I have that as well. I think I'm going to want to get the April set if I can, and the Casey Jones set. The Casey Jones set has a Foot Soldier and has been kind of sliced in half, which is pretty cool. And then also with the April set, you have another foot soldier which has like a battle damaged chest piece, which is interesting enough because there's a foot soldier 2-pack which are just undamaged foot soldiers, which is intended to be an army builder, which is quite good the way Neca did it, so that you don't have to be worried about getting like the same damaged looking foot soldier in every 2-pack kind of thing. So for the figures, I might as well get, actually I'm going to move the box out of the way because otherwise I'm going to have trouble, at least for the Toon Turtle box. It's so big it gets in the way. It is quite a massive set because of the size of the figures and all the accessories. So for sizes, I'll get straight into the scale. Leatherhead stands just a hair under 7 inches. The Turtles in Time Slash is a good bit, just around 5.5. And I can get that one in. The Toon Turtle Slash is about 5.5. I know these guys are actually smaller than the movie Turtles, just for a quick reference, but I'll bring them back in again later on. I know NECA's cartoon turtles are smaller than the movie Turtles. Here is movie Raph next to the Toon versions and the video game versions, and as far as I know, these use the same body sculpt as the regular Turtles, so their sizes should be about that, so you can see the height difference. In fact, Raphael stands about the same size as Leatherhead does, so you can, that's how big the scale for the actual movie to Toon Turtle line is. And on to the figures. So starting with Turtles in Time Slash, he comes with the least amount of accessories, so I'll do him first. Articulation wise, he is exactly the same as the Toon version of Slash. So he has shoulder joints that allow his arms to go out. They're a bit stiff on my version, so you can get the arms out that much. Rotate all the way around. There's a swivel at the bicep, swivel in the elbow, and a joint, single joint in the elbow. Get a good 90-degree bend. The swivel in the wrists, hinge in the wrist. He comes with one accessory, which is his sword. A big, weird, wavy sword. His legs can go out that much. His feet can kick forward this much. His knees have a double bend so he can get all the way back. His feet are on ankle rockers, which is really good on his right leg. Now, this is the issue I have with this one. The bottom half of his leg seems to bend. The top joint for his double knee joint is super stuck. So, and I tried heating it up numerous times to try and free it up, and it just doesn't seem to want to free up. He also has a unique belt, which is very similar to the one that came with the action figure version, except that was all in purple, if I remember. He has a unique shell sculpt as well, which is actually shared by the other version of him. It's like the snapping turtle kind of style with all the spikes coming out of the side. And then he has that really cool grinny face sculpt, which is really, really cool. The only difference really between him and his the action figure version of him is the teeth were more kind of straight on those in that one, whereas these ones are sharp and pointy. He also comes with a grenade accessory, which he can kind of hold in his hands. He's not the great at holding things in his hands, but on a plus note, you can just slide it onto his belt. So you can either slide it with the grey side out, or if you swap it to the opposite side, you can slide it in with the painted side out. It's owner's choice, really. But overall, he's a really cool figure. His head is actually ball jointed as well, so you get great range of movement. There's an extra joint down here on the neck, but it doesn't seem to want to move too much on my version, which I'm not too bad with it. And he also has a waist swivel, so He has lots of joints, lots of posability options. I did give him shredders, not shredders, the swords that came with the video game foot soldiers, and it kind of made him look a bit more like this version. But the toon version also comes with those swords. You can actually give them to him if you want. It's as far as I can tell, it's the same hand sculpt, just different, slightly different tooling. So if I just get the weapons out of toon 1, we'll move on to toon version slash. So toon version slash has that really goofy looking head, as he did in the cartoon when he was wandering around looking for this thing, his binky. So he comes with quite a lot of accessories. So he comes with this backpack piece, which is what he has later on when he returns from Dimension X. It doesn't seem to be removable unless you cut the straps on it, and I do not want to do that. Again, same articulation, swivels, all the same joints as the previous version. Only main differences is he has different shoulder pads, a different belt which actually goes under his shell this time. He has similar arm guards but with a spike instead of the shredder style claws. Again, he has a big, the knees are the same. On this one, the actual joint works for his knee, so I'm not sure what is up with the other version. He has the cool skull motif on his belt. Again, as I said, the same shell, only difference is the paint apps and the styling, or the spikes. They're done in different paints, and pretty much that's it. He has, as I said, the unique toon sculpt head. He still has the same bunch of articulation, and he looks really cool. For accessories, he comes with this large blaster that he brings with him back from Dimension X. He also has a smaller pistol, which I'm not too sure if he builds it in this episode. It's been a while since I've seen the episode. I just remember seeing him bringing that gun back. I'm not sure if he had this stored in that backpack piece. His iconic swords that it was, well, Shredder's katanas, I think they were, that he steals. Fortunately, his arm is a little bit stretched out from holding the rifle, but if you heat it up, you can get them back into it. But he does hold them. Now, I think this is his accessory, which is a half-eaten pizza. If I remember correctly, I think the turtles try to make friends with him when they first meet him, and they give him a pizza, and he instantly hates it. He also comes with 2 tiny accessories. A teeny version of himself, and he's binky. So, he comes with quite a lot of accessories, as does Leatherhead, which I will move on to now. So for Leatherhead, the only thing that both slashes don't have is alternate hands, whereas Leatherhead has a bunch of alternate hands. He has a opening jaw. He has a big tail that is a separate piece that you have to attach onto him. Let's take this piece off. Hopefully it won't break. I did have one breakage on this guy when I first got him, and I'll show that in a second. Unless it happens again, bear with me a second. I'm just going to do this off screen. It is a clip. Alright. So, 2 of his accessories he comes with are these crawfish. And in the cartoon he uses them like handcuffs, and they're supposed to sit around his belt. Now, if you look at the size, the loop and the opening is smaller than the actual top of the crawfish. I did manage to do it on this side where you kind of push it in, but I don't want to do it on both sides just so it doesn't overstretch it. But he does have that. He has a clip on the back of his belt. Now this is the point that broke on me, because when I first got him, his legs were very stiff, so I had to pop him in some hot water to loosen them up. And in doing so, when I was manipulating around the legs, this I kind of pulled on this too hard and it snapped off. But what this is intended for is his foot trap. So there's one side of the foot trap that has a larger gap on it, and what you're supposed to do with that is you're supposed to clip that onto his belt. So he has his foot strap on his belt. He is a reuse of some parts and some new parts. So his arms all the way down are a reuse of the Bebop and Rocksteady figures. His upper legs are a reuse of Bebop's legs. Lower legs are all new. His waist, this is like a rubber piece over whatever torso they're using for the larger figures. So this is a new sculpt over the whatever the basic sculpt is. And then he uses the same head and neck joint as Bebop from what I can see. Or sorry, not Bebop, from Rocksteady. And he gets a good range of movement out of it. He does have his opening, his head goes down quite a good bit, but he does have an opening jaw. It doesn't open very wide, but it does open. If I can just get that on camera. And you can snap his trap here. He comes with this weird double barrel squirt gun, which I can't remember him using. He probably did use it. I've only kind of rewatched a few episodes of him with him in it, but he does come back a few episodes. He comes with this big net for capturing turtles or anyone really. It's quite a big net. It's packed. It's in the case at the back of the figures, so when you're opening it, just be aware of that. He also comes with this big lasso thing, which is again good for capturing toils. So you can use that around people. I think more than likely, if you had all 4 turtles, you can actually open it up a bit. It does stretch on one side. Just be careful when you're doing it so that you don't undo the knot. But he does have that. You can kind of rest it in his hands. I'll get into his hands in a minute. But he does rest in his hands. He comes with a few sets of hands. But before I get onto the hands, I'll get onto his last accessory, which is this, which is a real chain with a neck collar on it, which is the same collar that Rat King was supposed to use on him, although his neck is too big to use it. It can sort of fit the turtle's necks, but it's also the one that he used on April when he captures her. So if you have the April figure, you can chuck this around her neck and you can have him holding the chain and dragging her along and having the turtles rescue her. So it is kind of cool, and it does have a little clasp on it that opens and closes. I would say to err caution with the hinge, just to be on the safe side. But it is quite a cool accessory. In fact, even though I don't have April, I'll just bring in a figure so you can see. You can kind of drape it around this open hand. So let me just bring them into center a bit so you can kind of clasp it around people. So there is that. And then for his hands, he comes with out of the box, he comes with 2 default closed fist hands, which are the same ones that come with Bebop and Rocksteady. He comes with open hands for both sides, which is again same hands that come with Bebop and Rocksteady. He comes with this kind of slightly open hand, which is good for, on the Bebop and Rocksteady figure, it's used for holding the communicator, but you could probably use it for holding a few things. And then he comes with this hand. They're all done on a peg and they all have a hinge. So like he does have same articulation. He has them out with the arms, upper bicep swivel, double hinge elbows, so you can get quite a good bend on it. He has a swivel at the waist. His tail is articulated. His legs can go out and in. Legs can kick forward. He has the double jointed knees. He has rocker ankles at the boots. So he's quite a well articulated beastie. Now, this is the one thing I will stress. In order to get this shotgun in his hand. So this is the standard version of the hand that comes with Rocksteady. As you can see, the thumb and the lower finger or lower 2 fingers are very close together. But in order to get this shotgun handle into this guy's hand, you will have to heat it up because as you can see, it's quite a large barrel piece, or not barrel, stock piece. So when you're trying to get it in, you'll need to, best thing to do is to heat it up before you put it in, and then kind of manipulate it in. Then you get a way better hold on the shotgun, and you can actually hold the shotgun quite nicely in his hands and look quite mean doing so. So I know this review's gone on for a little bit. Oh, before I finish up, I just wanted to bring in some figures for comparison. So here he is next to a Diamond Select 7-inch figure. Batman from the 89 movie is there. As you saw, the 7-inch scale Fortnite figure from McFarlane, and the movie Turtles. Unfortunately, I don't have any of the actual Toon Turtles for comparison, but you can see the scale of these guys. So the Toon Turtles and the video game Turtles tend to be smaller than the movie style stuff, which is interesting enough. But overall, really great line, and I do recommend picking them up if you can. As far as I'm aware, the Leatherhead and Slash sets are going to be available from Neca this week, as from the time of this recording. So I managed to get mine from a seller in the UK off Twitter, which I will give a link to their page. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get them in again. It was rare enough that they actually had them in the first place. So, but I will drop a link to the UK seller that I got this 2-pack off. Turtles in Time set Slash I got off Big Bad Toy Store, and as far as I know, I think he's still available up there at the time of this recording as well. So there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video review, and as I say in my videos, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Cheers, guys.